Hello guys, welcome back to TFD. Today we are going to talk about something that a lot of people do not want to hear, but absolutely need to hear if the WNBA wants to still be standing not just in 2026, but 10, 20 years from now. Because right now, the league is sitting on a once-in-a-generation moment, and it is being handled with the care and foresight of someone juggling gasoline next to an open flame. This conversation starts and ends with Caitlyn Clark. It just does. And before people get emotional, before fingers start hovering over keyboards, understand something very clearly. This is not about fandom. This is not about liking or disliking players. This is not about disrespecting anyone's career. This is about reality, about economics, about attention, about survival. Caitlyn Clark is not just a great player. She is not just a star. She is not just popular. She is not even simply the face of the league. She is the engine. She is the gravitational force. She is the not-so-little machine dragging an entire league uphill through snow, ice, and decades of irrelevance that would otherwise send it sliding straight off the mountain. And that is not hyperbole. For years, this league existed in a holding pattern. It survived, yes, but survival is not success. Players came and went, legends were crowned, championships were won. And yet, outside of a small, loyal, hardcore audience, the broader sports world barely noticed. That is not opinion, that is numbers. Attendance, ratings, sponsorship value, cultural footprint. Then, Caitlyn Clark arrived, and everything changed at once. Not slowly, not incrementally, not through careful planning or long-term strategy. It happened in a flash. Boom, like lightning striking dry ground. Sold-out arenas, not just at home, but on the road. Games moved to larger venues because demand physically exceeded capacity. Ticket prices exploding overnight. Merchandise selling out in minutes, not hours, minutes. And television ratings shattered again and again and again. Over 20 games drawing more than 1 million viewers in a single season. Let's be honest here. Before this, the league had gone more than a decade without even one. The last time that happened was 2008, and that was Candace Parker's debut. One game, one moment. And Caitlyn Clark turned that into a regular occurrence. And this is the key point that people keep missing. Sports leagues do not thrive on hardcore fans alone. They never have, they never will. The NFL does not dominate because every viewer knows the depth chart. The NBA does not print money because everyone watches every game. Major League Baseball does not survive on diehards alone. These leagues thrive because casual fans tune in. People who don't know every rule. People who don't know every roster. People who show up because something feels important. Caitlyn Clark made the WNBA feel important. She pulled in people who didn't even know the league existed. People who couldn't name a team. People who didn't know their city had a franchise. We've all seen the street interviews. That audience is real. And it matters far more than the echo chamber wants to admit. And here's the thing. This kind of moment can't be planned. It never is. You don't schedule a Bird and Magic rivalry. You don't manufacture Michael Jordan. You don't blueprint Tiger Woods. These things just happen. They explode into existence. One day, the sport is operating as usual. The next, everything is different. It's like that spontaneous friend everyone has, the one who shows up unannounced and throws your whole routine off. They drive you crazy in the moment, then years later you look back and say, yeah, I'm glad I went along for that ride. That's Caitlyn Clark to the WNBA. Now, before anyone rushes to say this means other players don't matter, stop. That's not what this means. Attention spills over. It always does. Angel Reese benefits, Paige Bueckers benefits, Juju Watkins benefits, the next generation benefits. That's gravity. Stars bend the space around them. They create opportunity for everyone else in their orbit. That's not controversial, that's physics. And if you want a historical comparison, we haven't seen anything like this in basketball since Bird and Magic rescued the NBA from tape delay obscurity. And then Michael Jordan took it to a level no one even knew was possible. But here's where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Because while the Clark spotlight is blinding, like twin suns over Tatooine, the foundation underneath it is shaky. And foundation is what determines whether something lasts. Right now, the WNBA's foundation looks less like bedrock and more like quicksand. And this is where things start to smell like wet socks you can't change all day. As collective bargaining agreement negotiations heat up, the league and the players' union are heading straight at each other like two cars in a high-speed collision, both convinced they have the right of way. Owners see expansion fees, charter flights, extended seasons, and massive media rights deals and say, "Look what we built." Players see rising attention and say, "We did this, pay us." But here's the problem. Both sides are pretending this league-wide organic growth. It's not. This surge is not evenly distributed. It's not structural yet. It's not habitual. It's concentrated, intensely concentrated. One team consistently moved games to larger arenas. One player sold out buildings coast to coast. One presence forced schedule changes, national broadcast reshuffling, and media priority shifts. That was Caitlyn Clark. Pretending otherwise is not noble. It's dangerous. And the league wasn't ready for this. Leadership wasn't ready. Messaging wasn't ready. Infrastructure wasn't ready. You could hear it every time the commissioner spoke, constantly spreading credit, constantly downplaying the obvious, constantly acting like acknowledging reality was somehow unfair. But reality doesn't negotiate. The players weren't ready either. Too emotional, too insecure, too jealous, too obsessed with credit. Too focused on making sure nobody stood out too much. Caitlyn Clark forced private charter flights, not league pressure, not union demands. Caitlyn Clark. And the response from leadership told you everything. You could hear the panic behind the public relations. And now the union is negotiating as if this boom belongs equally to everyone, as if pulling her out would collapse half the audience overnight. Let me ask you something honestly. If Caitlyn Clark said tomorrow, "You know what? I tried. I gave it everything. I brought fans, I brought money, I brought attention, and all I got in return was hostility, deflection, and disrespect. I'm done. I'm going overseas, or I'm building something new." What happens to the WNBA? Be honest. This audience is not habitual. Watching these games is not a long-ingrained behavior. This is not baseball. This is not football. These fans followed Caitlyn Clark. They did not inherit the league. Baseball nearly destroyed itself with the 1994 strike, and that was a century-old institution woven into American culture. It took juiced balls, record home runs, and years of damage control to recover. The WNBA does not have that margin of error. There is no do-over. There is no second lightning strike waiting around the corner. What makes this moment especially dangerous is that both sides think they have leverage. They don't. Caitlyn Clark has the leverage. The attention is concentrated to an almost absurd degree, and attention is the only thing that matters in modern sports economics. Not sentiment, not fairness narratives, attention. If she plays elsewhere, fans follow. If she builds something new, fans follow. That's not a threat. That's human behavior. And here's the tragedy of it all. Caitlyn Clark has repeatedly said she wants the WNBA to succeed. She has promoted it, she has defended it, she has carried it. All the league has to do is get out of its own way. Instead, everyone is obsessed with turning this moment into a participation trophy, a collective bargaining agreement built on feelings rather than fundamentals. Everyone wants credit they didn't earn for growth they didn't generate at a pace the foundation can't support. That's how you run full speed off a cliff like Wile E. Coyote, legs spinning, convinced you're still on solid ground, until gravity finally taps you on the shoulder. Caitlyn Clark did not just elevate this league, it exposed it. Exposed weak leadership, exposed fragile egos, exposed outdated thinking, exposed how unprepared everyone was for actual relevance. That exposure could be the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA if handled correctly. But if it's mishandled, it won't be remembered as the beginning of something great. It will be remembered as the moment they had it and lost it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
She takes bad shots at bad times.
The all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball.
You can't duplicate what you're not duplicating.
Caitlyn should have broke that record in 4 years.
The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart.
Reality is coming. There's levels to this thing.
I am unwilling to say that she is great yet.
I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role.
She don't play no defense.
This kid's on the wrong team.
She overpasses.
She's got the wrong skill set. This kid's in for a rude awakening.
She's the most popular women's basketball player who's ever lived. They don't like her because of all the publicity she's gotten.
I ain't answering no Caitlyn Clark questions.
That is a common thing when the anointed one joins leagues. She is the league.
Wheeler finds Clark from the
Let them know about it, Caitlyn.
through the lane, reverses it in. And gets the end behind the back again.
You look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Caitlyn?
In the model still the same. Like I win a championship. Viva rising. Another one. And another one. And another one.
But to me, that's not dominating.
Clark wins the pass, threads the needle by goodness.
Goodness, it never gets old.
Clark.
No, we not the same. We can have that look. I ain't mad.